Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pios Playbook. I'm your host, Aidan McLaughlin, and I'm here to bring you the latest from Sacred Heart's athletic programs for this week. Our show is packed, including top 10 highlights from the season, standout performances, a sit-down interview with wide receiver Kevin McGuire, fall ball, and updates from the men's and women's teams. Let's dive right in. First, let's talk football as the Pios stay home for their final home game against LIU. It was a game that got real ugly real fast as LIU's offense was all over campus field, scoring 21 points in the first quarter. That was only the beginning as the Pios went viral on social media for all the wrong reasons. As on 4th and inches at LIU's 45, they allowed a tush push that turned into a 55-yard tush push touchdown by quarterback Ethan Greenwood, a player the Pios failed to contain all game, which sealed the game for LIU, a game Sacred Heart wishes they can have back, as they fall to the Sharks 28-7 and drop to 4-6 on the season. The Pios will travel to Merrimack for their final game of the Indy campaign. And now we sit down with Sacred Heart senior wide receiver Kevin McGuire on his thoughts on the first season of the independent team and reflecting on the final weeks of play. And we are here with senior wide receiver Kevin McGuire to ask him about his last 4 years of play as he's in his final year of play. Kevin, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Reflecting on your entire journey with the Sacred Heart football team, what was your most memorable moment?
My most memorable moment has to be this last game of the season, playing in the Yankee Conference Championship versus Merrimack. Having a couple great catches in that game, contributing to a great win. It was awesome.
Yeah, that game sure was exciting. And looking back, how would you describe your growth as a player and student in your college career?
As a player and student, ups and downs, many growing from freshman year to senior year, just moving very differently, handling business differently, and being more on top of things, being a senior and being older.
Great. What has been the most challenging moment for you personally or as a team, and how did you overcome it?
Personally, injuries, broken fingers, messed up knees, still having to go to practice, cheer on my team, contribute to the team, and fight through adversity. Great.
Can you talk about how much the game of football has meant to you or has shaped you as a person?
Football has been a big part of my life. It definitely has shaped me as a person in a big part. The style of it is more militant.
Who or what has been the biggest influence on your football career at Sacred Heart University?
Biggest influence here has definitely been probably my receiver coach. He recruited me all the way from California, and he's just overall been a great father figure to me and a great role model.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here, Kevin, and we'll be back in the studio after this. It was a tough loss, but the Pios recovered in the following week, winning the Yankee title at Merrimack College by 31-20. Shifting gears to men's soccer, Sacred Heart has put forth their best start and record in the Anthony Anzavui era. SHU looks to make their first ever MAC playoff appearance in their first ever year in the conference. The Pios played a crucial game this week as they took on the Manhattan College Jaspers. SHU entered the match with an 8-5-1 overall record and a 3-3-1 record in MAC play. This game served big MAC playoff implications, the difference between a home field advantage or not. Sacred Heart failed to clinch home field advantage with ending the game in a draw against the Jaspers. There were a lot of missed opportunities and mistakes on the Pios end as they took home the 7th seed in the MAC playoffs while Manhattan took home the 6th seed. Had they beat Manhattan, they would have clinched home field advantage for the first round as the 4th seed. Goalkeeper Andre Hammersley has been a wall, posting 39 saves on the season and 4 saves against the Jaspers, potentially saving the season. The Pios fell to Ryder in the first round of the MAC playoffs. When we come back, we will talk about the men's and women's basketball team season so far leading up to their historic home opener, fall ball, shoe hockey in their past weekend series against Mercyhurst, and a sit-down interview with the new club hockey head coach. Welcome back. The men's and women's basketball teams have been on the road in anticipation of their opening night in the newly renovated Pitt Center. The men's team has been on the road, and the schedule has not been easy, dropping their first 3 games. First game was against AAC's Temple Owls in a relatively close game. Then they went on the road for a local game up in Stores against the back-to-back national champs, getting picked apart on all ends in the massive blowout. They ended their week against Ivy League Dartmouth, and yet another very close loss. They continue their road trip until November 21st, which is the first ever game in the newly renovated Pitt Center. The women's teams went 1-1 in their first 2 road games, where they faced off against Hofstra in a statement win and a blowout loss to tough ACC opponent in Boston College. Catch the men's and women's teams in their first doubleheader in their first game in the newly renovated Pitt Center on November 21st. Baseball in the fall? That is correct. Shoe Club Baseball plays through spring and fall, as we send it to our very own baseball analyst, Andrew Dayton, to give you the rundown of Shoe Club Base.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Dayton, and today I will be talking about the Sacred Heart University Club baseball team. I am one of the team members, and I am very excited to discuss my fall season. Superstar utility player Tom Ken is back for his senior year and will be one of 2 team captains for the 2nd consecutive season. Last year, Ken was named the Club Sports Athlete of the Month for March. He was a great motivator on and off the field, and is someone my teammates and I always look up to. Ken will also lead the team in fundraising, as the Pioneers will be going to Panama City, Florida for the 2nd year in a row. Sacred Heart will play in the Swing into Spring showcase during spring break. A notable change for the Pioneers is that they now have 2 teams competing in 2 different conferences, NCBA and NECBA. Now, let's get into the games for the fall season. The NCBA team had their first official game on Sunday, September 22nd, as the Pioneers traveled to Garden City, New York, and played Adelphi University for a doubleheader. The Pioneers won the first game 12-2, as the bats all throughout the lineup were alive the whole game. In the second game, timely hitting in the lineup and dominant pitching from junior Zach Dazinski carried the Pioneers to a 10-0 victory. Last year, Dazinski pitched a no-hitter against Rutgers University and was nominated by Sacred Heart University Club Sports for having the best individual sports performance of the year. Conference play in the NCBA started for the Pioneers against Montclair State University on Saturday, October 6th and Sunday, October 7th in a 3-game series. The Pioneers won 2-0 on Saturday as freshman pitcher Nick Portanova threw 6 strong innings without allowing a run. Offensively, sophomore Nick Surbach led the way with an RBI and 2 hits, while sophomore Declan Norton had 2 doubles and scored a run. On Sunday, Sacred Heart won 4-2 and 10-3 as Dazinski and sophomore Braden Golden each picked up wins on the mound. Conference play continued on Saturday, October 19th and Sunday, October 20th, where the Pioneers had 3 games at Fordham University. The Pioneers lost the first 2 games 11-9 and 5-2, but they bounced back and finished the weekend with a 6-2 victory to avoid getting swept. A 3-game series against Central Connecticut State University the following weekend wrapped up the NCBA fall regular season for Sacred Heart. On Saturday, October 26th, the Pioneers won 2 games, 5-1 and 4-0, as starting pitchers Portanova and Dazinski both pitched complete game victories. On Sunday, October 27th, the Pioneers came back and won 13-8 after being down 7-1. A 9-run 6th inning helped Sacred Heart complete the sweep and gave the NCBA team an overall record of 9-2 for the fall season. Meanwhile, the NECBA team began their season on Sunday, September 15th, as the Pioneers had a doubleheader against the University of New Haven. In the first game, starting pitcher Michael Savetta threw a gem with 5 scoreless innings, but did not receive any run support as the Pioneers fell short in a 1-0 loss. The Pioneers also lost the second game 9-7, but rallied and nearly came back in the last few innings. Their next game was their home opener against Brown University. On Saturday, September 21st, the Pioneers lost 5-4, but they nearly put up a strong comeback once again in the late innings. Freshman Nick Sandrowski had a big day, driving in multiple runs and going 4 for 4 at the plate. The next games for NECBA took place in Lawrence, Massachusetts on Sunday, October 6th. The Pioneers took on Tufts University and lost 7-3, but bounced back and won 11-9 against Stonehill after trailing 6-1 in the second inning. The big hit came off the bat of sophomore Max Bergen, who had a single that scored 2 runs and gave the Pioneers a lead that they never gave up in the 5th inning. Sacred Heart continued to shine with a 13-4 victory over Yale University on Saturday, October 12th. The Pioneers scored 11 runs in the first inning as the entire lineup batted around. Me and junior Patrick Hefner both had 2 hits and 2 RBIs in the day, driving in 3 of the 11 runs in the first inning. The Pioneers ended the fall regular season with a 15-7 loss to Stonehill. The Pioneers took an early 5-1 lead when freshman Matt Capco had a leadoff ground rule double and scored on a single by freshman Justin DiGiovanna. Capco also had a sacrifice fly in the second inning, and I was able to score after hitting a single and getting a stolen base earlier. In the fifth inning, Hefner and I both got hits to start the inning. I got another stolen base, and Hefner also scored in a ground ball out. Overall, the NECBA team ended the fall season with a 5-5 record. The next stop for both conference teams is a spring season coming up next semester. Remember to cheer on the Sacred Heart University Club baseball team, and stay tuned for more updates in the future. Now, it is time to turn over to our very own Aiden McLaughlin, who will be talking about Sacred Heart hockey updates. Take it away, Aiden.
Thank you, Andrew. Now on to ice hockey. The Sacred Heart men's hockey team faced off against Mercyhurst University in a 2-game series over the weekend. Sacred Heart swept away Mercyhurst, winning both games, the first one being 4-3 and the second game being 4-1. Shoe's top scorer, junior Felix Trudeau, continued a strong season with a goal and 2 assists on the series, while sophomore goaltender Ajit Gundara posing 60 saves on the series while only allowing 4 total goals. The Pioneers will be looking to continue their momentum into the next Weekham home series against AIC. It's been a competitive season for Shoes so far, and the team will be working hard to push towards a playoff spot in the Atlantic Hockey Conference. On the topic of hockey, let's head over to the club side of things, as our expert hockey analyst Solon Mijas has a sit-down interview with the new club hockey head coach.
What's up? I'm Solon Mijas, sitting alongside ACHA Division II club hockey coach Anthony Felice. And first year with the program, we had a coaching opportunity. We're fortunate enough that Coach Tony applied and got the job. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into coaching? How'd you start?
I actually started at the school I currently work at, which is my full-time job, Rye Country Day School. I actually started as an adjunct coach there, and I was working as a fitness manager for New York Sports Club. And I'd work for New York Sports Club, and then I would come and do coach hockey, and it just kind of slowly evolved into a full-time gig, and then an opportunity to come here, which I am just super excited about.
Yeah, and how did you hear about the opportunity here at Sacred Heart?
I actually had a friend reach out to me and showed me the Instagram post that said that, you know, the position was available, and I applied and I interviewed, and things just kind of worked out, and it was the right fit, the right place, the right time, everything. This arena is amazing. The opportunity to coach in a place like this, opportunity to coach such a high level of hockey. People don't realize how good the ACHA is, especially at our level. It's very competitive, so it was just the perfect fit for me to come here and do this.
Yeah, and then obviously we're only about 10 games into the season. We have a long road ahead of us. But so far, what are your thoughts of the team, the arena, and everything that comes with being a coach here?
Love the arena. I mean, it's just such a great venue, such a great opportunity. My aunt came to our very first game, and after the game, she said, "When is your next game?" She loves the arena. She thinks it's amazing. My family enjoys coming to the games and supporting us. I like the league. I like the competitiveness. We've had a couple of losses, but I think we're winning and we're improving and we're developing, and we're going to challenge for the SECHL championship, and we're going to try our best to get a bid to regionals.
Yeah, and then all in all, obviously, as we said, it's a young season. You mentioned the word enjoy. What has been the most enjoyable part so far of the season?
The most enjoyable part, I think, is just getting to know the players and getting to know the dynamic of the players. The one thing you love as a coach, and one of the things I love, is that you miss that dynamic. So now you're kind of the fly on the wall, and you're witnessing the dynamic amongst the players, and you just love that part of it.
Yeah.
I think that's the part I really enjoy the most, is just getting to see the dynamics between the players and how they interact with each other, and just remember and having a trip down memory lane every day.
Yeah, and then you mentioned we've obviously had a couple of rough losses so far this year, but we've also had a few big wins. What has been your favorite memory, let's call it, so far?
Oh, our very last game against Army. Last year we lost to them in the SCCHL championship. So I think that was really important. And one of the things in terms of, like you're saying, that's the best part is teaching the players that you have to learn how to win before you can win. And that win was a huge step in us learning how to win. And I think we will have momentum from that. We'll have a great learning experience from that, and things will just keep growing, developing, thriving. And I'm excited to see what else we're going to do the rest of this year.
Yeah, so obviously this is my 4th year with the team. This is only your first. You mentioned how we had lost them in the conference finals, not only last year, but 2 years ago as well. What are your expectations for this team moving forward?
Well, originally when I came here, so part of the reason I did come here was it was expressed to me that this team wanted to get to regionals and to nationals. And I liked that idea of being part of a team that wanted to win. And my mindset was about getting us to nationals. And as slowly the more we won and the big wins we have had, so our win against UNH, our win against St. Anselm, I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Win against St. Anselm. So all of those things, it's like a slow building process, and you take a little bit from each game, you grow, you develop. And I think with all that we're learning and how we're developing, I really think like we have a good shot not only to win the SECHL, to win regionals, go to nationals, and create some noise. It'll be interesting to see what we do in the next couple of weeks. Have some big games coming up.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page for this team's expectations. I just want to thank you for your time. Once again, I'm Saul Mija, sitting alongside Coach Tony Felice. Few games in, a whole lot more to go.
A whole lot more. Stay tuned. We're gonna make some noise.
What a great piece by Solon. When we come back, we will send it over to Jason for the top 5 plays of the fall sports season.
If you want to go into the sports communication and media field, there isn't a place that's located in a better spot in the country than Sacred Heart.
You'll learn how to do every single job in the sports industry and give yourself the best chance to get hired right out.
We can offer this at a master's level that really makes sense. So people can come here for one concentrated year and come out ready to work in the sports industry.
We're here for lifers. We're here to develop your skills for a 40-year career in sports media. We're the perfect place to start.
As the fall sports season is coming to an end, let's roll into the top 5 plays of the fall sports season. Take it over, Jason.
Thanks, Aiden. Now let's jump on into the shoe top 5. Coming in at number 5, we have men's ice hockey. Shoe against number 15 ranked UMass. Mikey Adamson faking the slap shot, getting to the defender to fall for it, working his way in for the goal. Ripping it top shelf there. Let's get another angle at this one. Nice play from Adamson there. The transfer from UMass with a goal against his old team. Great move to score. Shoe would go on to upset UMass in this game, winning by a score of 4-3. Coming in at number 4, let's get women's soccer here. A free kick for Shoe. Senior Miriam Schomstein going for the kick and gets the goal for the Pios, putting it in the top corner of the net for the goalie to not even get up there for the save. Impressive goal by Schomstein there. Celebration from the team there. Coming in at number 3, we have women's ice hockey. Here in overtime, some 3-on-3 action. Savannah Popick breaking through to the defender, rushing the net with a backhand goal for the game winner against RPI. What a play by Popick as she takes the shot. Getting tripped up there by the defender and putting the puck in the back of the net for the Pioneers to win. Great win by them there. Coming in at number 2, we have some men's soccer. Number 7, David Garcia Gallego taking the ball up the middle with the defender on him all alone. Another defender trying to stop him. He fakes one way, goes the other, and the shot. Puts it top left on the net. The goalie wasn't even close to saving this one. The celebration tells us all about this play. Let's see that again. Beautiful playmaking skills by junior David Garcia Gallego. In our final play at number 1, Shoe football going against Georgetown. Sophomore quarterback John Mikulski throwing it to the back of the end zone to senior Ethan Hilleman, and what a catch there by Hilleman. Absolutely outstanding play there, jumping up and making the grab, getting his foot down for the touchdown. Giving the Pios a lead in this one, Shoe would go on to win this game with a final score of 40-14. That's all the plays we have for you today. Be on the lookout for any more outstanding plays by our Pioneers. I'm Jason Pilla, and this is your Shoe Top 5. Send it back to you, Aiden.
Now as the fall sports season is coming to an end, the winter sports season is in full motion, as Sacred Heart's men's and women's basketball teams will be playing a doubleheader in their first ever games in the newly renovated Pitt Center. But let's talk about a team that has been highly acquainted with the new Pitt Center, and that's women's volleyball. They blessed the Pitt with its first win in its inaugural day, and after that they've gone 4-2 in the Pitt Center ever since. They've been holding down the fort quite well in anticipation for the basketball doubleheader home opener. And that's it for this week's edition of Pios Playbook. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week with more highlights, scores, stories, and more from Fairfield, Connecticut. Aiden McLaughlin, signing out.